everyone, my name is Emilee. I'm a manifesting coach, and today we're going to be starting a series where I'm going to be talking about some of the worst manifesting advice that I have seen. Now, not all of this is technically really bad advice. It's just that a lot of these things, a lot of these phrases, these catchphrases, a lot of people take the wrong way, and it ends up confusing people about their manifestation. It ends up confusing people about this whole process, and a lot of the times it ends up just creating even more limiting beliefs to go along with it. So this isn't to call out any specific coach or anything like that. I do believe that every single coach has their own set of clients, and every single client, every single viewer needs their own specific coach. I know that I'm not going to be the right coach for everyone. I know that I don't explain things in the way that every single person who comes across my videos needs things to be explained. So this video is more for people who are like my clients, who have seen advice be thrown around there, who see these catchphrases be thrown around, and either they have interpreted it the wrong way themselves, or some coach has kind of led them to believe that things are the way that they might not actually be. So we're going to be talking about so many things. We're going to be talking about phrases like, act as if you already have what you want. We're going to be talking about ignoring the 3D. Today specifically, we're going to be talking about your thoughts create, your thoughts and your feelings create. And that one is the most important to me. So like I said, this is not to start any arguments. This is not to, say that any other coach isn't doing a great job or is telling you wrong things. It's just that these are things that I think impact my clients, the people that come to me, the most. And it really confuses them. So I feel the need to talk about it, because if this can reach more people and it can give clarity to more people, and more people can understand what is really supposed to be meant by these things, that is what I'm trying to do here. So if you want to come in the comments and you want to argue with me about oh no, actually I do believe this and it's really helped me, ultimately here, whatever you believe, even if it's about manifesting, whatever you believe is ultimately going to be true for you, and that is ultimately what is going to show up for you in your reality. So if you really believe that your thoughts create, you're only going to see a reality where that is true for you. So if you are somebody who does not identify with that, who has been told that, and that just does not sit right for you, then this is the video for you, because this is a series for you too, probably, because we're going to be talking about a lot of things that, people in, the law of attraction community might be spreading them in the wrong way. Some other coaches might be spreading them in the wrong way. It's not to, like I said, to each their own. Everybody has their own journey. Everybody has their own amount of control that they want to have over their reality. But that being said, let's talk about whether or not your thoughts actually create your reality. So the short answer to that is no. Your thoughts don't actually have any power over your reality unless you give your thoughts that power. And this is probably the most important thing that I can say. This is the most important video that I can make about this series. This is why this is the first video, because I see a lot of people who come from the law of attraction community who come to me, and they are literally terrified of having any sort of negative thought, any sort of negative feeling. They push their feelings down, they push away these thoughts, and they try so hard to stay in a positive mindset, in a positive mood, and only have positive thoughts. And it's not healthy. It really is not healthy. And it's gotten to the point where so many people who aren't even in this community think that manifesting isn't real, or it's all bogus, or it's all bullshit. I don't know if I can say that. I'll have to look that up. There's so many people who just think that manifesting is crazy and that it's not healthy, because you have so many people who are so influential, who are basically telling everybody else that your thoughts create, your thoughts create, your thoughts create. And that is not necessarily true. And here's something that I really need you to hear. I really need you to internalize this. You are not your thoughts. You are not your thoughts. You have never been your thoughts, okay? You are the one creating your reality. You are the one creating your reality here. Your thoughts are not you. You are not your thoughts. Your thoughts are manifestations themselves. Okay? You are allowed to have a negative thought. You are allowed to have a negative feeling. You are not going to mess up your manifestation just because you have an intrusive thought. Please do not give yourself a complex about this. Please do not develop some sort of disorder, some sort of OCD situation here where you are obsessing over your negative thoughts and your negative feelings. You do not have to do that, because I've said this before, and I will say it again until every single person hears this. You are not going to have positive thoughts. You are not going to have positive feelings 100% of the time. You did not come here to have a purely positive experience. You came here to learn how to be a creator. At least that's what I believe. If you don't believe that, whatever, doesn't matter. That doesn't change the fact, though, that how you feel and what you think has very, very, very little, it's only a fraction of what manifesting is. It is only a fraction of what your life is. Okay? I promise you that even when you are with your specific person, even when you are in your mansion, even when you are a famous actress and you have the life of your dreams, you are not going to feel positive 100% of the time. You are not going to have positive thoughts 100% of the time. It has so much less to do with the thoughts that you're having, the feelings that you're having, and so much more to do with how you identify with the world around you. Because you are creating your reality. You are picking and choosing what is going on in your reality. Your thoughts are not. And sometimes your thoughts are just random and they are intrusive and they don't actually really mean a whole lot more than anything. You know, a lot of people have thoughts that they don't identify with. I will tell you that I've been in my relationship for years and years and years now. I've been in a good relationship for years and years and years. I've manifested, I've recreated my person. I have the relationship of my dreams. I have the man that treats me better than I have ever seen any man treat any woman. And that's honestly the truth, as sad as it is. But honestly, I can tell you, I don't feel positive 100% of the time. I don't have positive thoughts 100% of the time. I still have moments of anxiety. I still have moments of intrusive thoughts. I still wonder, like, oh, is he at work and does he have a crush on somebody else? Does he have a work wife? I can tell you, though, that has never manifested into my reality because I don't identify with those thoughts. Those thoughts come up. I am in a much better place now, so that way when those thoughts do come up, I very easily can just push them away and just be like, no, that's the old story. Like, I don't need to identify with that at all, you know? Not the old story as in like that was something that actually really happened to me, but the old story of like me being that anxious girlfriend waiting at home and not knowing what her boyfriend was doing, not trusting her boyfriend. But it's that when these thoughts do come up, there's no longer a strong emotional attachment to it. They don't create any sort of fear in me. They don't create any sort of like anxiety or aggravation or frustration or anger or whatever it might be. There is no negative emotion attached to it. So these thoughts don't have any power over me. Okay? And that is what I really want you to understand here. I want you to understand that you do not have to give your power away to anything in this universe, whether it is even your own thoughts, whether it is God, whether it is your SP, whether it is science. I don't care what it is. You don't have to give your power away. And there are so many people who will constantly tell you things that do give your power away. So I want you to be more aware of that. I want you to use your thoughts, use your feelings as your guides, because they are going to tell you so much information about what you are still believing and what you are missing and what you are wanting and what you are identifying with. Because again, at the end of the day, what you manifest is what you believe and what you identify with. Okay? I say it in two different ways because not everybody understands what the belief part actually means. So I say that it's also like how you identify with things, because it's the I am. It's the, not everything is going to feel like a fully formed conscious belief. Sometimes it's just how you identify with your specific person. Sometimes it's just how you identify with the world around you. Because a lot of our beliefs are still in our subconscious mind and we just aren't really aware of them. So that's why I say that in two different ways, but it ultimately all means the same thing. So whichever way makes more sense to you, you can go ahead and take it that way. I don't know. I don't care. But yeah, that's why I'm saying these things, because I don't want you to get a complex. I don't want you to like be so anxious about your thoughts. I don't want you to think that just because you had a bad thought that your manifestation is now messed up or that you are not on the right track, because that's not true. I want you to embrace all aspects of your life. I want you to embrace these thoughts. I want you to embrace these emotions, however they may come. And I want you to really like thank them, be grateful for them, because you came here to have a specific experience. You came here to have a human experience. And unfortunately, that means that it's not going to be happy all the time. It's not going to be 100% perfect all the time. If we wanted perfection, we would still stay in heaven, honestly. That's how I see it. So what I really want you to do is whenever you have a negative thought come up, whenever you have a negative feeling come up, I want you to observe that. Because sometimes your thoughts come up and there's no feeling attached to them. Sometimes your feelings come up and you're not really aware of what your thoughts are yet. So I want you to observe them. If your thought comes up, ask yourself, okay, what am I feeling? And does this thought even feel true to me? Am I identifying with this thought? Let's say you're manifesting a specific person and a thought comes up that, oh, it's been so long, they haven't even thought of me, they've probably forgotten about me. Like, how am I even supposed to manifest them when they don't even know I exist anymore? That's probably a thought that a lot of you have probably thought, because I've definitely thought that before too. And so what you do in that instance is that you examine that thought and you ask yourself, okay, how true does that feel to me? Is this just coming up because it's part of my old story? Is this coming up because I have some limiting belief? Is this coming up because I really believe that, if I'm not in constant contact with this person, they have definitely forgot about me? Whatever it might be, I want you to be able to use your thoughts to your advantage. Ask yourself if this even feels true to you, because I promise you, you're going to have a lot of intrusive thoughts in your life that you don't identify with. You're going to have a lot of intrusive thoughts in your life that you do not have any emotional connection to, that just pop up in your head and you're like, oh, that's a weird thought. That doesn't mean anything. Sometimes your brain just does that, okay? And it gives you a chance, it gives you the opportunity to really set course. And it reminds you of like what you're manifesting. It reminds you of who you're being right now. Because if you're having these thoughts and it feels true to you and you're identifying with it, then that is a really good indication that you have more work to do in terms of like changing your limiting beliefs. So, or, to say it in another way, in changing your identity, because you want to be able to identify with the version of you that has what you want. You want to be able to believe that you deserve to be that person. You want to be able to believe that your specific person is the person that you want them to be and also wants to be with you too. So do not be afraid to feel a negative emotion. Do not be afraid to feel a negative thought. Use it to your advantage. Use it to your advantage. Make it an opportunity for you to do some mental diet work. And if you don't know what your mental diet work is, it's basically like flipping your thoughts. It's basically being the observer of your mind. Like I said, if you are manifesting a specific person and you have a thought come up that he's forgotten about you, he doesn't want anything to do with you, or it's going to be so hard to manifest him because it's been so long, it's been like years now, and you haven't heard from him, he probably doesn't even have your number anymore. If that's triggering you too, like if that's making you feel anxious that I just said that is another indication that you have some limiting beliefs that you're still holding on to. So what you would do instead is you would remind yourself that no, I am the creator here. Everyone is me pushed out. Everything is always working out for me. Of course he remembers me. I remember him. Why wouldn't he remember me? I still have his phone number. Why wouldn't he still have mine? You know what I mean? Start telling yourself a better story. whenever these thoughts come up, it's not so much that you are trying to push them away. It's not so much that you are trying to shove them underneath the rug and never look at them and like, put your horse blinders on and be like, no, 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 no. My reality is perfect. Everything is perfect. Everything's always working out for me. It's not that you are like anxiously trying to change these thoughts or anxiously trying to run away from them, but it's more so that you are like, you're grateful for these thoughts. You're grateful for this opportunity to be reminded of who you're being right now. You're grateful for this opportunity to actually be able to put yourself on a different path. You're grateful for this reminder. You are grateful for this manifestation because your thoughts are also manifestations. So think of it that way. Don't be afraid of it. Use your thoughts to your advantage. And please, and please, and please, and please, and please do not develop a complex about this. Please, 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 please allow yourself to be human. No matter what, like I said, no matter where you are in life, no matter what you've manifested, no matter how perfect your life seems, you are still going to have negative feelings every once in a while. You're still going to have negative thoughts. It's just a matter of using your thoughts to your advantage. Recognizing that not every thought is going to be something that you identify with. Not every thought. That's something that I should also say too. If you don't know what it means to be identifying with a thought, usually if your thoughts come with emotions, the stronger the emotion, the stronger you're identifying with that thought. It's not always the case, but it is a really good indication. Because if you're feeling something, if you are, super anxious or super sad about a certain thought that pops up into your head, that is a really good indication that that is something that you are actually believing, something that you are actually identifying with. And then you know where your limiting belief is. You know now where you really need to work on. So let me know if you have any questions. Please accept your thoughts as they come. Just embrace them. Observe them. Flip them if you can. And if you can't, if you need to just have a bad day where you're just, thinking all of these sad, horrible, anxious things about your specific person or about whatever it might be, sometimes maybe I think that's what your body needs to experience, so that way it can get rid of all these thoughts and all these feelings. Journal about it, write about it, do whatever you need to do to feel better. If you need to scream in your pillow, or if you need to go for a run, or if you need to do yoga, or if you need to paint, if you need to belt Celine Dion, I am here for that. Go for it. Do whatever it is that you need to do, and then tell yourself that tomorrow's going to be a better day. But do not be afraid of your thoughts. Do not be afraid of your feelings. You are not going to mess up any of your manifestations. You are not going to mess up any of your manifestations, no matter what. I promise. It is so much more about who you are and your I am, what you identify with, what you believe, however you want to say it, than it is about your thoughts and your feelings. Your thoughts and your feelings are only guides. They are only supposed to be your guides. So I hope this was helpful. Please let me know. I hope this didn't piss off too many people in the community. I don't know if what I'm allowed to say. Usually I am so much better at not cursing when I'm making videos. We'll see how much I have to edit out of this. Anyway, I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.